Go. Okay. I call this meeting to order, a regular meeting of the Oberlin City Schools Board of Education. Please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson White,
Here.
Ms. Garrett,
Here.
Ms. Stagel,
Here.
Ms. Emeka.
Here. And now we're going to go do a tour, or do we adopt the agenda first?
Adopt the agenda first.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any additions, corrections, changes?
Yes, we have a few corrections. We need to amend item HF.
H.
Under supplementals.
H.
Okay,
no-
under supplement.
H5.
I'm sorry, H5,
Yeah.
HF,
Oh,
H5.
I was gonna say, that's two letters, okay.
HF.
H5, okay,
Okay, what
under
is it?
supplementals, and then anything else?
Rodney Hooks will be amended from I for 1.5 to step 1.5 to 2.5, and Amanda Coach may have been amended to 1.5 or 1.3 to 2.5 or
Okay,
2.5.
I see. Okay,
And that's it.
that's it. Okay, any questions, discussion? Okay, hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson White,
Here.
Ms. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Stagel,
Yes.
Ms. Emeka.
Yes. Now, do we go to the tours? Okay, now we are going to go and tour, we doing the elementary?
We're going to do
school?
elementary first and do high
Elementary
school
first
next.
and the high school, and then we will be back for the rest of our board meeting.
You're up, Flip.
Well, we're in a perfect place to start. I know you've seen the cafeteria a million times for a board meeting, but we have an exciting change that's going to be happening in our cafeteria that's part of our PBIS program. So we're going to be instituting the golden lunch tray as part of our PBIS program. And, you know, the whole point of the program is to promote positive behaviors, good modeling of behaviors and expectations for students. So our PBIS committee met this week, and they have had this idea about a golden lunch tray where classes are awarded points or recognition for having outstanding behavior in the cafeteria, things like taking turns cleaning up your space, appropriate voice levels when you're eating, just responsibility, period. So you'll see these charts, and our monitors, and it's a great way to expand the program beyond just classroom teachers, is our monitors will actually choose a class each day for each grade level who they think they have done a fantastic job. And they will get to fill in a section of their grade level chart. The grade level, or the class at each grade level at the end of November who has the most pieces will be awarded the golden lunch tray, which means they get to have what we call fancy lunch. And we set up folding tables with tablecloths and placemats and special treats, and they get to eat there for the day. So our PBIS committee said we want to keep expanding what we're doing to different areas of the school. So this is one area that they are hoping to expand to. So that'll be something new that you'll see in the next couple months.
Do I need to carry my coat because we're going to walk across to the school?
Probably not.
Grab your coat. I left my coat at work, so be cold. I just dabbled a little bit, so that makes
We'll see you in a little bit, Steve.
See you around.
I did get their, they did an open enrollment that's got a lot of the same information on it. So I might give you that to put up. And then if you put up the other one, then at least they can probably flip back and forth.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna try separating the Zoom audio and audio audio. See if I can get that.
okay.
I am on all the audio, otherwise it's
Yeah.
sometimes when I register.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks.
No problem.
I should have thought about that on Zoom. It's got the record feature. We should have just,
Yeah, I didn't even think
Yeah.
about it.
I emailed, Corinne, Rebecca. I talked to everybody at, Smith.
None of them yet?
none of those, Sheila didn't record it, so I don't know who was recording.
I wonder if Zoom picked up that I was running the song. That's the only thing I can think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else was, I can't see that.
Full participant.
Yeah, I can't see who else was on there to ask them, so you might want to reach out to them and see.
Okay.
All right.
Cam, your eyes here. Just don't understand. I made it. I was so great. I love my
Not much, not much.
Well, I'm always here. I'm always here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm talking about retiring years so. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They got the head, they more than them, that's in the head of them, so it's very nice.
What? Man, look. Right? Official and unofficial.
Right. You've done it as a parent, community member, board member.
Active, especially in high school. I've been all up in that place.
Pick one.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that,
Like I said, I'm always here. Thank you.
Oh, there's a door around there.
I'll be there. Agenda, I'll be there.
how are you? Yeah, I'm excellent. We ready? Did you practice the school song? Did you have to open up with the school song? And the other percent, you do that.
What is this? Am I supposed to just do?
That's just yours. It was just cleaned up files and then old stuff. We had OWC security back then.
I don't even have to change my picture.
You need anything? Yeah.
All I did was copy a lot of them. Just like, you know what, everyone did a refresher in August. I don't care if you're not a quarter now. Everybody's gonna do it, we start everybody's clock.
We're less likely to get it because we're
5 years that we don't have to.
You know, we wash our hands, we don't suck our hands.
can't get it.
How long does that take you?
It's just.
Huh? Farrah, you did get that, right?
What?
My thing, I sent you.
I did, yes, thank you.
Like, it's like, I don't know what it's called, but my work has my Gmail stuff on it. They did something here.
Oh, so that's why you didn't.
The only thing I have that I've
Oh, they up.
Anybody? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 that's fine. Yep. There's nobody here to be on. I don't know. Normally they come for the, yeah. Okay, we can get started whenever you're ready. No, nope. Meeting to follow.
We're gonna call our meeting back into order. I don't know if that's the right word, but, okay. And so next on the agenda, we have citizens' concerns on agenda items. Anybody sign up?
I don't think so.
Can anybody sign up online?
Nope.
Okay, looks like we don't have any of those. And then next we have news of note and presentations. Dr. Hall?
Today we have a couple presentations. I'd like to welcome our track team. Had a phenomenal year last year and also heading into another good year this year. And our two great coaches here, Coach Hooks and Coach Coachment, did a great job working with them. Great accomplishments, and I'd like to turn over to them right now to introduce the track team and some of our accomplishments at the state level.
So with us, we have Aubrey Abeda, Cayman Noble, and Alyssa Webb. These are three of the 6 girls that competed. It's been a minute since, we had the meet. So for the first time in 39 years, 35 years, something like that. 40 years, there we go, 1984. Brought home the state runner-up trophy, so that is the highest place that had been gotten in 40 years. Do you guys want to tell them what you ran?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I ran in the 4x1. Oh, and I did long jump. Oh, at the state meet. At the state meet, I ran the 100, 4x2, and 4x1.
6 and 100.
At the state meet, I ran the 4x1, 4x2, and 4x4.
So first in 4x1, 4x2, 6 in the 100, and we had a really
Yep, third in the 200 and second in the 400. And the 4x4 also finished 8th. And then our girls for the 4x2 set the state record this year for the fastest time. They did that at conference. Yeah, so there was that, and then they were also, the 4x2 and the 4x1 were undefeated all season, all the way through the state meet. What else, ladies? Anything else?
It's a great season,
Yeah.
great young ladies, great boys team, great, kids that really appreciate the effort and the work that they put in to give to us. So it's hoping for another great year. Healthy, great year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your program has grown so much over time. How far have you guys come? Because it was, at the beginning, it was a couple years ago, it was small numbers, and now they're huge.
We're doing well with that. The girls, I hate to say the girls are the athletes here. But the boys, we're trying, we're actually the principal.
Dr. Tomlin?
Yes, I'm sorry, my first time meeting her today. She gave me a good idea. We might have to try to implement it in our programs where because we have to reach them young. Running is not a sport that everybody.
Most people don't love running.
Yeah. In 10th grade, you come out, you can't.
You have to learn to love it.
Yes.
And starting young with them, young kids, nothing matters to them. They don't really fear nothing. So that's a good time to start and getting used to it before they get to other sports that might be running as far, you know. So with us, it's running, and they run smart, they get it. Very intelligent kids, very, top to bottom. I think we got some of the smarter kids on the team, but that's just, but very well mannered, everything. I love it.
Yeah, all of the girls were academic all Ohio. They all have 4.0s.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then a quick shout out to the athletic boosters in the athletic department who gave the girls really awesome rings as a keepsake for their accomplishments. They're real nice, red and blue, and Hooks and I are actually really jealous. So we said, we got to win next year so we can get one. Yeah, anything else? Could you? Oh, yeah, you guys did go to nationals.
Yes.
So we went to Philadelphia the week after state, 2 weeks after state. 2 weeks after state, the 4x2, you guys, I think, were like 32nd out of like 90-some teams.
Oh, wow.
They did really well. They didn't think that was good because obviously they were undefeated all year, but to be 32nd in the nation is pretty awesome.
Could you tell us what year you all are at the high school?
Oh, I'm year
10th grade?
And then we have Olivia, who's also a senior. Melody ran in the 4x8, who is a senior. And then Phoebe came with us as our alternate, who is also a senior. We unfortunately lost one of our sophomores, Jasmine. Her family relocated, so she's going to be a tough one to replace. But like we said, we've got some young ones coming up and hopefully continue the success there.
Nice.
Like to say, I was very fortunate to go to state and watch you ladies, and it was phenomenal watching you. Did a great job there. It's wonderful hearing your names on this loudspeakers and hearing that Oberlin and pronounce your names. They're only juniors, they're only seniors. They have another year left, and it was great just hearing that, all the cheers and everything else. So, phenomenal job there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have our district has been working on updating our strategic plan, and we have Aegon leadership here who has been facilitating that for us. We had a couple of board members also participate in that process, and Aegon leadership provided an update of what happened during that session.
So, a survey was done in May and then in August to get 53 respondents to the survey. Some people were concerned that it wasn't a lot of people, but it got quite varied responses. So sometimes when you get a little sample, everyone thinks the same. That was not the case in this case. So the number of responses gave a 39-page report of people's comments. So pages 1 to 5 in the handout summarize the feedback that was in the survey. People loved the vision, loved the mission, and liked the values, but wish the values were demonstrated more, lived out more. Oh. And then gave a lot of comments, both likes and dislikes, about each of the program areas. So starting on page 5, page 5, the bottom of page 5, has a summary of the general overview outcomes. So the benefits of doing this strategic plan review was getting a reasonable number of local stakeholders to respond. Over 10% of the invited people responded, and a lot of surveys only get 2 to 4%. So it was a reasonable response. It confirmed that all of the elements of the 2018 strategic plan are still valid. It provided feedback that people see progress being made in all of the strategic priority areas. And it confirmed, as I just mentioned, that the variety of people who responded shared their perspectives, because there were a lot of things that some people loved and other people were very frustrated. Okay? So what came out a lot was that communication isn't complete. So some people have heard this information multiple times, and others say, come on, communicate with us. So that's an area that needs more attention. So the director of each strategic pillar and committee related to it were given a lot of things to focus on. So page 6 through 8, we asked everyone present to suggest, in response to the survey outcomes, what things deserved more attention. And pages 6 to 8 summarize that. So under the educational programming pillar, the overall focus of education, just be sure we're really providing a high-value program. Rigor, what is the best way to get rigor, and what does rigor mean, are things that need to be explored. Important educational considerations is about STEM, STEAM, and AI are really important in society now. So how can Oberlin ensure that Oberlin students are well prepared in those areas, and how can they have more exposure to tech? And in the STEM area, it's when a new middle school is built, can it please have facilities? And then some critical assets. In order to do a good educational program, there has to be a quality school workforce to leverage community assets. And one of the concerns there was, is there a staff budget big enough to attract quality of employees that the school district benefit from? And how can we leverage community assets? And one of the comments there is, we want community assets that connect with the curriculum and the desired educational outcomes, not just because someone wants to come in and do something with the students. Because if it takes kids away from fulfilling primary educational goals, then it's not a value add. And student and family support. So listening to students and being concerned about wellness and mental health. Supporting families, engaging them, having events, and being concerned about whole family wellness. And then collaboration, partnerships with the community. What resources are available to partner with to enrich the educational experience and the whole child and whole family health. Facilities and finance. There was a lot of feedback in the survey about funding equity. Can extracurricular funding go to the arts and the sports and not be weighted too heavily in one area? And then the unpredictability with tax-based funding. The facilities, both buildings and the equipment, just planning for obsolescence, so when things wear out, there's finances reserved for replacing them. And the impact that the facilities and finance will have on the employee base. And then communication, social media, they would like to know when they check the website what the current time of the game is. And if the game has to get moved to a different time, and the website is kept up to date, or how are all the players and their families supposed to know that a game start time has changed by an hour? And a big part on that is finding out what the variety of people in the community, where they want to find the information so that it can be made available. And then marketing the district, brag about current partnerships. So the things that are going well with community partnerships, really promote it so people know it's happening. And coordinate the communication so that you get the most messages sent with the least amount of effort. And then keeping families informed was all of that earlier. Where are they going to look? How can we get the message to them? And how can there be more bilingual communication? So, there was lots of input. The people that came to the discussion meeting engaged in small groups, and lots of ideas came forward for each of those core committees to prioritize and work on in the next 1 to 3 years. Any questions from the board?
Well, I guess my question is, what's the next step?
So the next step is for each of the directors. So there were no suggestions even for a change of a word in the 2-page vision, mission, values, and strategic priorities. So the changes, the result is, okay, the core is right, but how do we implement it even more fully? And so that's what those last 3 pages have identified. And so each of the staff directors are taking the lead with their pillar, and the committee members that are supporting them on the pillar to look at all the bullet points under their pillar and determine where should they start. And so the board and Dr. Hall, you can give direction about when you want updates on what is going to be done and how it plays.
During that work session, we were able to identify some common themes that were, that the parents and through the survey identified. And we noticed, like rigor, student conversations, more student input. There are some common themes that we identified, and then we placed them in our pillars where they need to go. So the pillars are, the directors are chair of each pillar or each strategic planning area. So they received all that information about the next steps, what they have to do. We have a lot of work to do, and identified some more questions. When a question came up of rigor, there's rigor, interpretation of rigor from the students, from the families, from the board, from our teachers. What does that look like? There's a lot more questions that came up. How do we get this information? It's going to be a longer process for us to identify exactly, pinpoint what this looked like and how we're going to address some of these issues. But it was a clear common theme with a lot of them too. 2 of the board members was there as well. I don't know if you have any input as well, if you'd like to mention anything from the session.
No, I thought it was really great to get feedback from the community on things that we're doing well as things that maybe we thought we were doing better on, but that's either not being communicated well or we're not doing as well at it as we thought we were. So that was really great. It was also really interesting. I'm on the educational planning committee, and we had our IB sessions for the middle school and high school year programs on the same day. And some of the same people were there, so it was interesting to get the feedback on IB in conjunction with the feedback specifically for me on educational planning.
Well, I just was interested that there were so many contradictions in the feedback.
Oberlin planning.
Yeah, I know. Hello.
And so as Dr. Hall alluded to, more probing and more detailed, like it might be focus groups, but somehow asking questions to better understand what people really want on these. So there's lots of bullet points of the topics to be delved into. But many of them need more discussion to determine the direction to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'd love to know, like, when each pillar committee meeting is. I mean, I'm just going to go to my own pillar. But so that we continue, I feel like sometimes we do updates on the strategic planning committees with our committees at the end of our board agenda. But I don't feel like we get updates on them as regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you,
so
Kathy.
much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the process as well and the time you put in.
Thank you.
And that was a collaboration with, on the committee was teachers, board members, administrators. We all worked together to try to identify certain areas and families as well. A couple more updates I have. We'd like to thank our community members and our board and those who participated in our first SRO Billy Needham Walk and Roll to School Day on Thursday, October 23rd. We had a great turnout. We had teachers walking. We had community members walking. Oberlin Police Department did a wonderful job. Billy Needham's wife showed up there as well and family members, and they actually participated in a walk with us. Students, there's a lot of love in the community. I know his family, it was very emotional for them, but they really appreciate everything we did for them during that time period. Chief walked with us as well, so I'd like to thank the police department and the health department as well who participated in that, and also Mr. Ninemy who helped coordinate that with the health department as well. Great success. We have some other activities planned in the spring as well for Officer Needham, so just stay tuned. And
Are any of those T-shirts left over?
yes.
Those were really cool.
Yes, and we'll get the board T-shirts as well. Yes, yes. Definitely. We want to make sure Needham's family had a few for themselves and their grandkids and everything else too. But thank you. I'd also like to thank everyone who attended our annual State of Oberlin address last Thursday. It was very well attended. A lot of community members came. I'd like to apologize to some community members stated that, we had it during different things were going on that night, but in the school system, it's very difficult to find a night that's nothing's going on. I was telling the board the night before we had National Honor Society induction, so it's something always going on from K to 12 in the school system. I'd like to thank Ebony Johnson, City of Oberlin Council President, Mr. Greg Holcomb as well, the new city manager of Oberlin, David Hertz, the chief of staff at Oberlin College, did a great job. Was well received by the community. Thank you for attending, and thank the town and gown as well for creating that, and the city for helping us advertise for that as well too. Great organization, and actual proof that the town and gown is doing something moving forward. And thanks, Farrah, for being on that committee and help moving us forward on that. Coming up as well, we'd like to invite our community for annual Veterans Day Appreciation Ceremony. That will be held from 5 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 11th in the OES Gymnasium. This year, the keynote speaker will be Army veteran Mr. Dan Markuski. We will also have performances by OHS Band and also OHS Choir as well. The master of ceremony for this event will be our own National Teacher of the Year, Mr. Kurt Russell. He'll be the master of ceremony of that activity. 5 to 6. I'd like to invite our veterans out as well to attend that event. Also, we have an update too from the board, for the board for, I know, last meeting. We have our communications committee. I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Felix, who will provide an update for the branding piece and provide the board with some information for that area.
Good evening. There we go. Just wanted to share some information about the rebranding project that we started looking into last year. So the reason that we want to do rebranding is we want to have some consistency with our logos, with our communication tools, and really cultivate a visual identity for the district. We also think it's really important to streamline the use of our logos between uniforms, banners, displays, marketing materials, so everyone is getting the same Phoenix or the same Black O on anything that's coming from the district. It's also really important for us to have an image that we own the rights to, so that we have unrestricted ability to use it on uniforms and marketing materials and things of that nature. Backing up to the spring, our communications committee met with a marketing company in the spring called the Impact Group, and while we really liked their presentation and thought that they had a lot of good things to offer the district, some concerns were raised, so we really wanted to rethink the process to make it as transparent and equitable as possible to anyone that would be interested in taking on this project with us. So we used the model that we used for the food service selection to create an RFP, a request for proposals, that was posted on our website. It was also sent out in our district newsletter, and we recently extended our deadline. We were originally accepting proposals from about a month period of September 9th through October 10th. We have since extended that deadline, so we're accepting proposals up through Friday, October 31st. At this point in time, we do have 4 proposals that have been submitted. They are from the Impact Group is one, Vertex Education, Brand Pivot, and Lovett & Sons. They've all submitted really comprehensive proposals that sort of follow the guidelines that we put out in the RFP. The RFP just calls for a group to work with us to create a modernized district logo while continuing to honor the existing elements that we have in that Black O design. We want to keep a Phoenix. The problem you may have heard with the Phoenix that we have is when it gets enlarged, it gets pixelated, and it's just not designed in a way that allows us to manipulate the size very well. We would also like a brand style guide and a quick reference guide, maybe some professional development with staff to go over some brand parameters and ways to use marketing materials, as well as consistency with things like fonts and colors. So our hope is that once we have selected a group to work with, that they'll conduct an initial session with our stakeholders to seek input from a variety of staff, students, community members, to really work with us to make sure it's matching the district's vision. We would like at least 3 logo designs to be presented, and we will have the committee sort of work through those designs. We did in the spring send out a survey that went out via Messenger. It also went out in my quarterly newsletter to see who would be interested in serving on a rebranding focus group. As of right now, we have about 20, give or take, people that have agreed to be a part of that focus group and help with this work. Sorry, just want to go through my notes, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. We did ask in the RFP that everyone provide us with a summary, their background and qualifications, any examples they have of similar work, especially in a K through 12 setting, personnel bios, a project timeline, a cost breakdown, and references from other clients. Based on some of the research that has been done into some of these marketing companies, we did set a cap of $20,000. That is, you know, if the board would approve and Mr. Reinhardt would approve and we have the funds, that is the ceiling. So the bids, we're hoping, you know, are competitive in the pricing piece of things. So we're not necessarily committing to spend $20,000, but we're looking around that ballpark. There is, as I mentioned, a RFP, a rubric to evaluate each of these different companies that have submitted a proposal. So the next steps after the time frame closes, we'll review all of the proposals. We will schedule a time where each of these companies can give a 15 to 20-minute presentation and allow our stakeholders to ask questions. Then there's a rubric that their answers will be scored on, and those rubric scores will determine ultimately who we select for this project. So I think that's all the information I have. What questions do you have for me?
One question I had is, do we know the companies that submitted their RFPs, are any of them like community members? Like, do they live in the district? Do they have children in the district? And if so, how many?
One proposal that I know of is from a community member that's in Oberlin. We actually got a proposal from a company that's based in Scottsdale, Arizona. You know, I'm not sure how they got wind of it, but they had requested a meeting to better understand our proposal, and they really seemed like a great professional organization. They have a lot of experience in this area. You know, I do know the local piece is definitely important. That's why I'm glad it's not just up to me, and it'll be up to a committee to decide that. Any other questions?
I just want to say that I really appreciate that we're going through this process. You know, so often, you know, the high school seniors will want to make a T-shirt, or the basketball team will want to make a T-shirt, and everything has always felt so disjointed. So it will be really nice to have what I hope is like something for them to choose from for their specific T-shirt for whatever it is that they want to do that for.
Yeah, I think this process will allow us to have a really cohesive sense of, you know, everything across the district, from marching band to football to basketball to you know, things that we offer, promotional materials. So I'm excited about the project. Anything else?
Good.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And with this process, we'll have community and student input as well throughout the process. And what other organization we is selected, we'll definitely reinforce that they need community and student input as well, and the board input too as well. And funding, it depends on how the funding looks for it. So it's also a variable nowadays. Next, I'll have our facilities update, which we just saw two of the facilities, Oberlin Elementary School and also Oberlin High School. With our facilities update, want to redirect to, we have a board item B for a maintenance shed, and I wanted to provide the reason why we're doing a temporary maintenance shed for the district. You notice our current maintenance shed is located right behind the high school. However, in January or February, that maintenance shed will have to be removed due to construction. And that's one of the areas that will be first removed during the construction site in January or February. So all the equipment and vehicles and everything else within our current maintenance shed will have to be relocated. Within the maintenance shed, you have, we store a dump truck in there through the winter times. We have maintenance vehicles, we have lawnmowers, small engine equipment, athletic equipment, maintenance supplies, including tools, line paint, various other supplies inside the maintenance shed. In the maintenance shed too as well, you'll notice that you also have 2 little sheds outside as well, which would be tore down as well. So those 2 little sheds store equipment for sporting activities too. So that whole area there will be tore down and in January, February. So right now we have not selected where we're going to put a temporary shed at or even the permanent shed at the same time. So right today, I'm going to go over a couple of, we're all over the map here at different locations. We have to do surveys and everything else. Where can we put it? The maintenance facility, we have 2 additional storage sheds of equipment on site, which I just talked about. The temporary smaller maintenance shed, which will be used to store equipment and dump truck. We're going to build a temporary shed that will store the dump truck because basically once we build a new maintenance facility, our maintenance shed area, it will have to be used to store the dump truck and equipment and things like that too. Until that happens, we have to find another location to store all this stuff. So currently now, temporary relocate current maintenance area equipment. So right now, Earl and myself and the custodians are looking for different areas to store some of the equipment. Some of the equipment cannot be stored inside the building, like horse fuel, things like that. So they have to be stored inside the shed. At the final location for the temporary and permanent facility, this will require surveys and planning. There's some options that we have. We're being exploring them. We're also exploring them with the city as well. The district will still utilize a temporary facility once facility for additional storage. Once we locate an area to have our new maintenance area, the temporary shed will still be there and utilize to store equipment. We always have equipment to store at the same time. We still have those 2 little sheds outside the maintenance area we have to store, and we also have bus driver equipment that we have to store as well. So we'll utilize a smaller shed as well, and also look at a location for a new maintenance shed. All right, this is our
So
challenge.
I have a
Yes.
question. So I understand that there needs to be some process of deciding where the permanent shed is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Can't we just step that up and make the permanent shed rather than building a temporary one and then later building a permanent one?
The permanent one will probably take a year to build.
Oh, I see.
It's going to take a little
It'll take
time.
too long.
And we don't
Okay.
have the extended time, and they're going to, January, February, they're going to tear down the older one.
Yeah,
So, of course, we still own Eastwood, so some material may be stored in Eastwood. So we may have to store some materials over there. So once we get rid of Eastwood, we'll perhaps just find somewhere for that material to go.
Okay.
So it's going to take a little more time for those, that material to be, for its final location.
The current, pass-through maintenance shed won't have electric or water. The new one will need electric and water.
Okay.
Okay.
How big is this shed?
30 by 30, 32 by 32, somewhere in that size.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, we've known that this was coming. Is there a reason that we didn't start the process of figuring out where to put it a year ago?
Yes, I'll go through that here in a minute of why and where we thought we were going to put it. So a lot of things with land surveys and everything else happened with that time period. What challenge we run into is construction area right here. This is construction laydown area. That's the football practice field. So we don't have a lot of space to use there because you're going to have heavy equipment. You're going to have equipment moving in and out. So there's not a lot of space there to make the facility, to place the temporary or the permanent facility. Also, that area right there will be for the high school site. So a lot of that area is off limits too. So the challenge came in of where can we put a temporary, where can we put a permanent. Of course, we have the field here, the soccer field. But within a plan, you're going to have 2 fields over there. If you're going to have, the architects will make 2 fields next to each other. You have a soccer field, and we also will have enough space over there to make 2 fields over there as well. So that kind of limits our space of where can we place the storage shed and the permanent shed. Originally, we thought that we can place the permanent shed, our storage shed, right down in a grass area, in a wooded area there. We, of course, worked out an agreement with the college. They gave us easement. However, due to the wetlands there, after the surveys was done, architects talked to us, you have to have, be a certain distance away from that area. So that right there was our primary spot we were looking at for the maintenance facility. We also looked into building our bus garage there too. But however, most of that area there with a 75-foot clearance, it goes into the fields. You're not allowed to construct over there. So that put us off limits. That was our first priority, to move it there, have everything on one site. But however, once the surveys came out, after several meetings with architects and the surveys came back, we weren't able to do anything over there. But however, you may be able to place something here where the maintenance area on the Park Street and that little, let's show. You have a little area here too as well that you may be able to work with. But we have to find the measurements for that too as well, see if we can do that. So we're still not sure, a lot of different areas that we can go into. We thought about the temporary shed and also the permanent maintenance facility can either go to the grass area to the west, or we also found out we own some property here where it can possibly go to the property to the south of the bus lot there too.
So now we're looking at Langston, the area near Langston?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we cannot move the bus site, so the bus site was probably still, the bus garage will still stay there. We don't have another location for it. So right now, the current plan is to have the bus lot still remain there at Langston area. We love for the bus lot to go over with us, but like I said, we're pretty much landlocked to those areas. Or we have to place the bus lot in Pleasant Street, but I think we're going to need Pleasant Street for fill space for athletics. So we're pretty much getting kind of landlocked. The great news too is about this area, when we are disposed of or work with an agreement out with Langston, we own plenty of parcels over here, so we can still keep that parcel there for the bus lot. Okay. But like I said, we have not made any permanent plans of where the new place is going to go, where the temporary spot's going to go, because one, we have not done any more surveys. Our first primary spot was in the easement area by the college area there. So we have to work with the city, find out if it's buildable, if we can go there or not. So we may have to build a maintenance temporary shed there, or we may go back to different areas over here and see if we can build in the back, in the east or whatever over there, possibly. The temporary shed or the permanent shed. So right now, we're looking at different locations, see where we can go with it. We do know that the bus lot need to be repaved, and with that bus lot as well, we'll purchase a new van, which is also on here. So we have about 7 vehicles, buses there, and we have 2 close to next year. We'll have 3 vans, and we have dump trucks and other materials there too. So we're going to need to utilize all that bus lot area.
And you said one of the options was an area south. Can you just sort of point on that, where the south part is?
Yes, one of the areas is located, actually the district actually owns this here, the district owns here, the district owns a little lot piece of here as well. So the district owns property here, property back here, and of course property here, and we own this over here. So we have also that area there we can put a temporary lot into, the temporary storage shed. So we do have some options there. But we're not even sure if you can even put it there. So we have to right now talk to the city and see if that's even a possibility. Just like any other photos, like I always tell everybody, I show photos with everybody. That's where you're gonna, it's not, we're right now still in the process of developing where we're gonna go. But we do know we have to do a temporary shed first, and that's what's on the board agenda for item B and the board items. And that will house the truck and some of our equipment until we find out another location for the permanent maintenance facility. Also in the permanent maintenance facility will be area for the bus drivers too to also go. One of the questions asked for community members was stating that, well, why do you want the bus lot this close? It's, and Bob will tell you, it's almost critical to have it close to us. The other day, we had a bus breakdown. I had to call Bob. I was in a meeting, and then we had to actually, Bob had to go out and drive, or I have to drive. We get constant bus changes all the time. So sometime during the day, there's a field trip out at the library, and they would call the central office and say, hey, can somebody come and pick us up? We don't have time to go to a lot of different places, so we'll go out to the bus lot, go do that. Can we invite somebody here and go pick the students up from there? So we have constant changes going on with transportation, and it's very nice to have them right close to us so that we can just go out and drive to at the same time. And you have Bob, myself, and a couple other central office personnel to be able to go out there and just get a vehicle, come back, get some work done, and leave again. So that accessibility is really nice to have. Okay. Questions?
I guess my last question is, once we figure out what the options are, will this come back to us, or it'll come back to us before you decide exactly where it's going?
I think once we get a final okay where it's going to go, yeah, the board will probably know where it's going to go exactly. But you'll probably hear things about, well, we have to find out where we can, like, for example, if it's going to go there, can we even build there? We're not sure.
Right.
Survey is going to cost some money, so it's going to take a little more time. Yes. The board will hear about it before we go somewhere, move it.
Great.
Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. All right, that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Next, I will entertain a motion to approve board items A and B.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Item A is approval of the September 30th, 2025 regular session minutes. Item B is due to urgent necessity, the Board of Education hereby authorizes the superintendent and/or treasurer to expend an amount not to exceed $20,000 for the purchase, delivery, and installation of a maintenance shed. Any questions, changes about the minutes? Okay, and then we already just had an opportunity to ask questions about, this is the same shed, right?
Yes.
About the shed, but any other questions about that?
I guess
Comments?
I do have one more question. Does that include, the 20,000 include the surveys, or is that separate?
That won't be needed for the temporary shed. It includes, though, them coming, building it. It's a galvanized steel shed, so it's like one you may have at your house or somewhere like that, with a garage door. So that includes setup, mounting into the ground. They'll come out and do everything with it.
Any other questions? Okay.
The
Hearing-
temporary shed will not have electricity and stuff, and I'm sorry. The temporary shed will not have electricity and water and none of that in there, so just to be clear. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson White?
Yes.
Ms. Gadsden?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Mecca?
Yes. Next, I will entertain a motion to approve treasurer's item A.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Bob?
Yes, for September, we ended the month with $50,452,212.51. We had $77,978.85 in outstanding checks, and we have a payroll transfer of $800.50. That will be paid back over the next 7 pays, so. Interest for the month was $151,513.17. If we go to the 5-year forecast, our revenues are up a little bit, or down, total revenues are down from last year, but that's because of not having the advanced in from the debt fund, since we paid off the debt in June for the notes that we sold for building this building here. But if you took that out, then we would have been up for the year so far. And again, that is part of the Nexus money. That was a one-time makeup for them paying off what they hadn't paid us in years past, plus the income tax was up a little bit, so. Payroll is working towards what I've projected, so we are 25% through, and so far, our payroll is at 26.85. The same thing with benefits. We are 25% through, and we're at 24.16 of what I projected for the year. So we're running pretty much hand in hand with the 5-year forecast you approved last month. For all funds, there's really nothing standing out. Our federal grant money is going to be down because we don't have any more of the money that came through COVID, and we don't have the state literacy grant anymore either, so those will be down. The Nexus, the 070 fund, we are starting to spend that. We are getting bills now from our management company. And then 004, the architect, is in their final phase of design, so we are expending some of that money. Come January, when we start to break ground, those bills will get a lot bigger. So, other than that, I really don't have, there are a ton of bills in the House and Senate. I'm not really looking at any of them to start to project them until we know what we're going to look at, because there's quite a few different scenarios in what can happen. I have started to update the new February forecast with what the county has done. We'll lose about $230,000 in doubling the homestead and ownership roll, so, and that won't be reimbursed by the state. And then, just like to remind the community to get out and vote on November 4th for our 2 issues that are on the ballot. That's all I have, Ms. President.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
I guess I have a question just about that 200,000 that we're losing. Is there a plan for how we are replacing that in the budget?
No, there's not a plan right now of how we're replacing it, no. Depending on what happens, normally we would get that back through increase in income tax and increase in property values, but currently we don't. Until everything washes out, there's not a plan to say this is what we need to take steps to do in the future. It shouldn't affect us making payments on the COPS issues that we sold to build the new middle school currently. Some of the other changes might affect that.
And I guess I have a question so we had the big increase in property values for folks throughout the county, and some of them have appealed those new valuations and been successful. How is that impacting the school district, if at all?
The ones that got, there were some bigger ones, but we have them every year, and this year is just a few more than what we usually do. So I think we had a total of 2, 4, 6, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So we had a total of 29, and the total evaluation isn't really going to hurt us in the long run, because again, it's effective millage, so the inside millage will adjust a little bit. We're on the 20 mil floor, so we're not going to lose that much there either. And then with the emergency levy, it'd just go to other taxpayers, because that brings in a constant amount, and the PI levies are in the same boat. So they'll bring in the same amount that they would have, and it doesn't touch our 2 income tax levies.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson-White?
Yes.
Ms. Gadsden?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Ameca?
Yes. Next, I will entertain a motion to approve superintendent's consent items A through H5.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Dr. Hall?
Okay, item A is a approval of excess cost agreement, children with disabilities. Item B is approval of the 25-26 PSCI affiliates. This is an organization that we utilize for temporary services. So we're adding to that SLP union to collaboration with them on SLP process with that. And we'll work with the union on that process as well to hire additional SLP help for our SLP person.
Can you remind us what SLP stands for?
Sorry.
What was it?
Speech and language pathologist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Janet, you.
So many acronyms.
It's been a minute, okay?
We have one in the district who's doing a wonderful job, but she's have a lot of she has a high caseload now. So hopefully I can help her when she does her evaluations with support. Item C is approval of 24-27 OPC MOU. This is revised. What we did was revise position. We found some errors in the old MOU, and we're currently voting on it again. This will allow the position to go from 260 to 230. Also, teach our tech support specialists with an associate's degree or higher will go from class 1 to class 2. So that allows them, with their education, to move up on the scale a little bit.
What's the significance of going from 260 to 230?
The significance is they work less days. He's on a 230 schedule. He loses vacation, but that's what he wanted, and it gives him more time off on non-peak times.
It wasn't a reduction by us. It was more or less the union
asked
came
to
to
be
us and
reduced.
requested to
Okay.
drop from 260 to 230.
So is that like a teacher's schedule
No.
or like
It's,
what's, yeah?
The curriculum coordinator, the
Oh, okay.
athletic director are
Okay,
on 230s.
like that. Got it.
Basically work until the end of June and get July off and come back in August.
Got it. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item, forgot where it was. Item D is for approval to receive school van bids. The district is, remember last month, the board approved for a new bus. This is to, if we have the funding to increase our fleet and have a new van as well. We utilize the van and go to very different locations. As you just stated, Bob and I utilize the van to, if we're short, drive routes too at the same time. We're going through Ohio School Council, and we will explore options for electric options as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
And what's Ohio School Council?
Ohio School Council is an organization that helps with bid processing, also help with training, professional development. They work with administrators, teachers, cleaners, operational staff. Just another organization that education utilizes for resources.
It's a consortium, so we're in their gas program, we're in their purchasing program, we're in their food service program, but I think there's like 268 schools that participate with them so that we have a larger buying power. So, but we do utilize a lot of we utilize some, like the electricity co-op that they have, we can't use because of Oberlin, but we do use their gas, and we have free gas this month.
All right. So that is a cost-saving measure
Yes.
then
Yes,
for us.
yes,
Got it.
yes.
And they do the bid then, because now they're buying for all 268 districts.
Yeah,
So
it's a
people
bunch.
will drop because if they, but that's why it also takes 9 months to a year to get the bus in.
Right. Got it.
Item E is approved overnight field trip for Model UN. Item F is approve of a professional service contract. These are trips that our drivers, if we can, support. We utilize these for extra trips for our drivers. Oberlin College will provide them support. Item G are several policies, the first reading of several policies. The policies went through our policy committee, looked at them, a lot of rescissions and revisions as well, and replacements. Just goes to show you like how legislation is constantly changing, and we have to update our policies to match the legislation. Item H is personnel report. We have a few resignations. I'd also like to congratulate Cheryl Anderson. who's a cafeteria worker for us, and she received her bus driver license recently. And she's joining going to substitute drive for us occasionally, and she also driving the van for us as well. You see a lot of substitute teachers on there as well, so we're also increasing our numbers of substitute teachers in the district. Item 5 are supplemental contracts for sporting events and coaches, also other events from Tri-M Music Honor Society, bowling, music ensemble, OPDCs, but several different supplemental contracts for our staff members. Request approval of item A through H5.
Any other questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson White?
Yes.
Ms. Gadsden?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Ameca?
Yes. Next, we have comments, discussion for board updates. Anybody have anything?
Yes.
Go ahead, Janet.
Okay, legislative liaison report. First of all, I want to reiterate what Bob said, encouraging everyone to make sure you get out and vote, because every election is important, even if it's just local. And we have everyone on the board, except for me, is on the ballot this year, so we're hoping to keep the stability that we have on this board. The Ohio State Legislature spent most of the last session discussing property tax, which is pretty horrifying, because I know nobody likes to pay for their property tax, but we do like our police and our fire and our county services, and most of all, our schools. So I want to encourage everyone to vote in favor of both of our school levies, and please encourage all your friends to do the same. Even though they didn't really come to any conclusion in the state legislature about that, there was some movement in the state legislature. As House Bill 57 was signed by the governor, which addresses the use of overdose drugs and requires that parents be notified if a child has been giving that. And my response to that was, duh. Of course we would, notify parents if their child had OD'd and we had to save their life. However, there was an addition to that legislation which added an increase in the number of hours that school districts are required to give release time for religious instruction. Right now it's 1 hour, and the article that I read did not say how much it was increased to, but it said there was an increase.
Per week?
Per week.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, one hour per week was the minimum, so, but we haven't been, that's not us, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Senate Bill 144 is a proposed change to teacher licensure grade bands yet again. They like to keep tinkering with that. SB 156 requires schools to teach what they call the success sequence, which is first, get your education or job training, second, get married, and 3, have children in that order. This bill is also waiting on the floor to be voted by the Senate. There's been no movement on the Vouchers Hurt Ohio lawsuit, which we're a part of. On October 20th, Judge Jazine Page in Franklin County issued a temporary restraining order blocking enforcement of the Ohio High School Athletic Association rule prohibiting students student athletes from earning income from their name, image, or likeness. So that's a temporary thing. We don't know how that's going to end up. SNAP benefits are going to end on November 1st. This is especially harsh in my mind because Thanksgiving is coming, and I wonder if we can promote donations to the community services to help people to get through this extremely difficult time. I would like to encourage anyone who is within the hearing my voice to make a donation to community services. I intend to do that. We need to step up and help people out. Right?
Yeah. To add to that, while you were talking about that, OberlinCommunityServices.org is the website. Very easy to donate there. We are currently running a Thanksgiving food drive through Walmart here in Oberlin.
Okay, so we make our donations.
You can do cash through the website, you can do food through Walmart, or just drop it off to us.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you for bringing up the upcoming election and encouraging folks to, participate in local elections. The thing about local elections is we all live right here. We all live right near you. If you have a question or a concern or need information or need support, we're down the street, around the corner, in the grocery store. I say that a lot because I don't know why people think that these elections are not as important when the folks are accessible to you. Like literally you can reach out and touch one of us. So that's my little soapbox. I'll get off of it now. But that is true of every individual that is on the ballot in this election, which is a week from today. The other thing too, though, is if you want to learn a little bit more about the folks who are running, you can go to vote411.org. Hopefully all of the candidates filled that out. That's from a nonpartisan organization, League of Women Voters. There's a lot of people from our community who work hard to put that together. It's right there at your fingertips on your phone or your computer, and you can read a little bit more about what is on the ballot, who's on the ballot, and get information about things relevant to the position. So all the folks who are on the ballot have answered questions that can kind of help inform your decision. So thank you for bringing that up, Janet. Anybody else have a report?
The endowment committee met last week and granted grants to teachers and students. We had 2 students who put in applications for Phoenix grants, so it was really exciting to give some money to students who have a project that they're really excited about over at the high school. We were also able to fund some things both here at the elementary school, at Langston, and at the high school for teachers who have special things that they either want to take their students to or bring into their classrooms. And the next meeting of the endowment committee is November 19th, and we're welcoming new members. So if anyone is interested and wants to come over here to the elementary school, part of our meeting, we will be thanking our donors, but you can learn more about what we do at the endowment committee, which is my favorite committee because we give money to our teachers and students.
Yeah. And we saw what some of that money was used for the schools today here in the elementary school with the number stickers that they put on the stairs so that the students get practice there. It's really multiplication. It's the foundation for multiplication, yeah. Thank you. And so we had policy committee met, and that's how we reviewed the policies that were on the agenda for today for the first reading, and discussed those in detail with our Neola representative. And then anything for finance committee? Okay. And then town and gown met as well. Again, we've been meeting at least every other week, every 2 weeks. Every now and again, the meeting has to be canceled due to somebody's out of town or there's some big thing going on in town. But we have a regularly scheduled meeting, which has been great. Again, touching base. That's, as Dr. Hall mentioned, the State of the City came about as a result of the committee meeting and planning that as we did last year, and working together to make sure that that happens. And then we also discuss various other things that come up. I can't remember what we talked about this past Friday. I don't know, is there anything specific, Dr. Hall?
We discussed joint collaboration with marketing.
Oh, right, yes.
And that was phenomenal, an idea from, you know, working together on marketing, not just the schools or the city, but all of us together, creating videos and doing things together of just inviting community members, come to Oberlin, where, you know, it's a great place to be. So showing all three entities together, working together in some of the projects that we do.
That's right, thank you. That's a great idea. And actually, not sure what that's gonna look like, but initially we talked about seeing if there are students either in the high school or the college who might be able to help put together like a little video / commercial that represents, you know, all three entities and the community in and of itself. So a lot of great work going on there. You know, not to say that we can't continue to work and improve our collaboration, but just the fact that you get key stakeholders around a Zoom, we don't necessarily mean person, but to talk about issues that we're all facing at the same time, and just understand how each, you know, how the city's addressing a certain issue, the college and the school district is just really beneficial to us and the community. So hopefully that will continue.
Yes.
And right now, there's plenty of meetings on our calendar, so I think it will. And then I think that's it. I didn't have a JVS update this time. I probably will have one next time. Anybody else have anything they want to update on? Okay.
Just on the
Yeah.
town gown front, I just wanted to make sure all the, especially elementary schoolers, know that this Thursday is track or treat over at the college, which is always a great night. And the kids can go out and walk around the track, and all the different teams set up little obstacle courses, and they can kick the soccer ball in the net and learn how to use a field hockey stick and get candy. So it's always a really fun night and fun to see the interactions between the younger students and the college students.
Thank you.
What time is that?
I think that is from 6 to 7:30, but let me double check. It is also on the,
Thursday.
on the PTO
That's this
page.
Thursday, right?
This Thursday, yeah.
Uh-huh.
6 to 7:30.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Any hearing of the public on other items? There's really no public here. I know you're here, Mike. Mike is the lone representative.
Got anything to say?
Sorry, people who work for the district, I know you're public, but not exactly. Okay, so future meetings. We have a work session on November 20th here at the elementary school at 6 p.m. Then on November 25th, we will have a school board meeting. Isn't that like 2 days before Thanksgiving? We will tour the middle school at 5:30, and then our regular meeting will start at 6, and we will actually have our meeting at Langston Middle School. And then December 16th, 2025 will be the regular meeting, 6 p.m. We'll be back here at the elementary school. So with that, I will entertain a motion to move to executive session pursuant to revised code 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of a public employee or official.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is no need for discussion, but, okay, no discussion, please call the roll.
Ms. Anderson White?
Yes.
Ms. Gadsden?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Stagel?
Yes.
Ms. Mecca?
Yes, and we will not, when we come back, we will return, but we will adjourn after we get out of that executive session.